Alright, ladies and gentlemen, turn 61 of Once More Under the Breach. A lot of disasters this turn, as usual. I bought a whole bunch of blood slaves from as part of my ongoing plan to unmute my pretender. I also researched up to level 3 blood, and then I'm going back to alteration, which won't be done in time to make a difference. Lost a couple of guys to mental attacks. Ufanizi managed to resist, fortunately. Taki, however, was killed over here. Funny Guy is spamming Manifest Vitriol. Burden of Time was dispelled. Really unfortunate, but unexpected. I found no blood slaves whatsoever. Theocratus was killed, one of my scouts, by an Avite scout. All of these battles are losses. They're all people moving in and taking over my stuff, which is to be expected, to be honest. I didn't even really bother to contest any of them, including these 2 Stormcallers. I did manage to kill some devils over here with my province defense, which is nice. Henwood was stormed. I did kill 1 Stormcaller, or I think actually he was killed by friendly fire. Other than that, a bunch of unexpected events, including these. These are spells. Somebody is casting Blights at Machakan, and is casting a fire spell that causes unrest and kills population. I think it's a fire spell. In any case, they're... no, I think it may actually be a nature spell. Raging Hearts, something like that. And that's also a spell somebody is casting. So that's Baratos trying to shut me down, which is fair. I lost a sage from a disease. I cured 2 units of diseases. The God of Niflheim has finally been permanently vanquished. There's some movement going on. I'm kind of hunkering down defensively here because this army is my biggest and most powerful defensive army, and I want to hold this throne as long as I can. Up here, my income is being ravaged by Baratian armies. Over here, they're going to try and storm Karnak, and what I've done is, I've set up... I think they get to storm... They might get to storm before I move, but in case they don't, I've got a bunch of Astral Mages here. So what I'm doing is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Astral Mages, which means I can set up a Communion, and I can cast Light of the Northern Star, which makes everybody more powerful in astral magic. And then I can have them all... I forgot to tell them to actually cast spells, so they need to do that. And then these guys, who are Communion Masters, can all cast Soul Slay, which is a magic resist, negates Soul Falls Off spell. If you take a hit from Soul Slay, you die. And so, the goal is... for all of these armies to fight at once, and if they do, I'll have a massive Communion backing up 9 guys spamming Soul Slay, in which case they might be able to kill the Melkart, and they can probably kill quite a few of the demons and devils and mages and what have you. I also, if everybody fights at once, which I don't remember if they will, but this is my only chance, they also have just a crap ton of pygmies just scattered around to absorb lightning, and some lions up front to run in and absorb lightning, as well as a few Buddhas to spam skeletons and earth elementals as chaff. Basically, the whole point is, if I can keep the Communion alive, and they keep spamming Soul Slay, they will eventually kill the demons. Especially with that many Communion slaves, if they all fight at once, they'll be taking almost no fatigue. And so, they'll be able to do it forever, which will be nice. I don't know if that's going to work, but it's my only play. And that's about all that's going on this turn, to be honest. I know this turn is very, very short. I'm kind of keeping these turns short because, let's be honest, there's not a whole lot I can do at this point. It's do or die, and there's a lot of dying happening and not a whole lot of doing. I'm forging some copper plate down here so I can have some kind of fight back against the demons. I don't have a good way to stop either. is just coming in with huge armies of stuff that is hard for me to stop with what I have available. If I can research up to alteration level 8, which I'm not doing right now because all my research mages are going into combat, but if I go up to level 8, I will get access to Ground Army, which will make me highly resistant to lightning. I'll also get access to Disintegrate, which is Soul Slay but for death magic. And I'll get access to these Warriors of Niflheim and Muspelheim, which aren't great. I'll get Quickening, which my god can cast. And then at level 9, I'll get Army of Gold and Army of Lead, which allow me to... The only problem is the targets take additional damage from lightning, but against throwing Army of Gold on something would be very, very useful. So we're just gonna kind of have to play it by ear. I need you researching rather than blood hunting for no reason. You won't accomplish anything with it. My Boudas are just holed up in my forts because that's the only place they're even moderately safe. And yeah, that's kind of where things are headed. Over here, I'm attacking in order to kill a couple of Kohens, just to be annoying. With 2 Boudas. I think 2 Boudas can take 2 Kohens. So that would be nice if they could manage that. They will then probably be killed by retaliatory mind hunts. The only place I'm safe from mind hunts is in these 3 provinces, where I have a ton of astral mages. So, I'm also being besieged here, but they haven't broken down my walls yet. So I don't need to actually do anything about it yet. Right now, all these guys are just going to research, just to get me a few more points of research. I say a few more, it's actually like half of my current research. And then, probably, I'm going to have to sneak the Boudas out, because I have no troops in this fort. So, actually what I might do, I might demolish the lab just to deny it to the enemy. I demolished the lab here before I was forced out. And Scorched Earth tactics aren't really going to accomplish anything. Just research. Hope that I can get something up. Conjuration level 9 wouldn't help me, or I would be going that way. But I don't have anybody who can cast these spells right now. I need to get Blood Feast, which means I need to have level 2 blood on my Pretender. And then if he can cast that, it should cure the mute, and then he'll be back in business. But by that point, I think I'm going to have lost so much gem income and so much income that I won't be able to support any kind of a reasonable defense. So we'll see how it goes. Little bit, I've lost at this point. I have. Baratos has won. There is nothing that can stop him on the field. Possibly with his giant doom stacks, if he gets some really, really good anti-devil stuff going on. Hinnom, not. Like, I think Hinnom's out of it. I think Algulod has lost and just doesn't know it at this point. And we'll probably... This area is where we're going to try and put up our last stand. I am going to try and hold Machakan itself as long as possible. I'm spamming out Hyena Clan Witch Doctors for now, which I actually don't need to do anymore. And we'll, yeah, let me swap that guy out. That only opens up 174 gold. Okay, well, you might as well recruit him. He's something. He can Skella Spam, which is a nice ability. And over here, I'm recruiting Boudas. So yeah, I mean, with this many Boudas and Hyena Clan Witch Doctors in one province, you actually can, to some degree, defend the place just by casting Horde of Skeletons. You get Mashuhuri or somebody to throw up Darkness, and then you spam just unreasonable quantities of skeletons. And that can work. It works a lot less well against people with demons, because demons have Dark Sight, have Dark Vision. But even so, I can generate, out of this province, I can generate just an unholy quantity of skeletons. Just an unreasonable number of skeletons. In fact, instead of a Bouda, I'm going to recruit a Hyena Clan Witch Doctor, because that will get me more skeletons per turn. Up here, I'm not recruiting anything because I am out of money. In fact, let me stop recruiting these pygmies here in favor of a Hyena Clan Witch Doctor. I've already got some pygmies. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be the turn, basically. I'm going to lose this fort next turn. I've already lost that one. The armies of are going to keep pushing. And and Baratos are going to turn on each other sometime very, very soon. I can practically guarantee it. It's just not going to happen soon enough to save me. For all that might actually prefer to turn his attention to Baratos now that he knows I'm not going to win, in order to try and prevent Baratos from winning outright. That's very possible. This fortress is doomed, so, tell you what. Why don't you two run? Just take the pygmies and run. And Shaboni... yeah, demolish the lab. I know that this army is going to move in here and capture this fortress, but Shaboni can sneak out after they besiege the fort. And these guys, by moving away... will take as many of my... we'll save 80 pygmies, which I could potentially use for something at some point. The problem is just my gem income. If we look at my stats here, gem income. Pew! This is just going to keep going. As they take provinces, my gem income will crash. You can see right here where it spiked. Those were the good times, and then army size is actually going up because I'm recruiting so many pygmies, but it's not going to help. My research plateaued there, and then it's going to fall off the cliff, just like my income has as I started to lose provinces. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in turn 36. I mean, 62. Why did I say 36? That was stupid. I'll see you in turn 62. Alright, it is turn 62 of Once More Into the Breach. A bunch more mental attacks. Jojo the Spider Clan Witch Doctor managed to resist. Mandara managed to resist. Wimana managed to resist. Mombera was killed, so I've lost another Bouda. It's all very, very sad. Didn't find any blood slaves whatsoever, which it happens. Since I apparently didn't manage to get my actual blood mage blood hunting last turn. Didn't really expect it. A scout was murdered, which happens also. Now here's the interesting battle. There was a battle in Karnag. So this is where I deploy the giant Soul Slay Communion. I've got a Bouda here, I've got a few other mages scattered around, I've got lions, I've got pygmies running around trying to soak up fire. On the other side of the battlefield, I have one Melkart. Not a geared Melkart, just a standard Melkart wearing winged shoes, sadly. And some devils and some storm demons. So they all start throwing their lightning. My guys all communion up. They blasted the crap out of Kumba here. We're firing arrows to no effect. More lightning coming in. Kumba's down. And then the Soul Slays start going off, and notice, the Melkart's gone. If we look at the battle overview, Foras was trying to cast Iron Will to buff his magic resistance, but he failed his very first magic resistance roll, and was annihilated. So he's dead. We got him. That makes this whole thing worthwhile. Losing a Melkart in exchange for a Bouda, totally worthwhile. The Storm Demons blast my lions there, but the lions get in, and I soul slayed a couple of the demons as well. So, that was a victory. I lost 1 Sage and 1 Were-Hyena, 21 Pygmies, and 7 of my War Lions, and in exchange, I killed a Melkart and 4 Storm Demons. Totally, totally worth it. Other battles. Province Defense being killed. Province Defense being killed. Province Defense being killed. In Welrid, Province Defense being killed. Battle in the Mighty Pillars was Province Defense being killed, and in God's Tomb Mountains, this was actually a fort storming, but I didn't have anything defending the fort, except some random crap units. I have some Terracotta Soldiers, some Pygmies, and 1 Revenant. So, yeah, this was never going to go well. A bunch of his militia have lit on fire. Because Dustwalkers have a heat aura. Okay, well that explains that. He's got a ton of these Kusariku summons. He's got a ton of Dustwalkers and a lot of Lamias. This whole army is basically summons. This is like what a late game army kind of looks like. He's not hardly using his national troops at all. He's also got Fall Bears, so might be running short of things to spend Earth Gems on. So, yeah, we just kind of get run over because I didn't even try to defend this fort. A dire portent. Demonic Industries has cast another global enchantment. Sea of Ice. So, travel between land and sea is impossible, and you can cross all rivers because they are all frozen. Yeah. So that's actually good for him because it prevents from moving between his ocean provinces and his land provinces, and I think it also stops from drawing income from the water. I'm not entirely sure. In any case, so I won that. I'm moving some of my dudes over to here to provide a greater coverage of Astral, but mostly I'm researching, which is about the only thing I can do at this point. Over here, Funny Guy is blood hunting, while Katibu forges a blood thorn, which is a blood booster. Funny Guy is up to level 1 blood. I'm not sure if I need to give him 1 more level or 2 more levels or possibly 3 more levels, but we're desperately trying to get him up to the point where he can blood feast and get rid of that mute. Busting out some really terrifying large-scale battle magic is the only way I'm going to be able to pull this off. Over here, this fortification hasn't been broken yet. It has 125 wall integrity still. I can't recruit, but I am summoning a couple of scorpion men, or scorpion beasts, rather, which I think will keep me intact for one more turn. I'm also summoning a king of elemental fire. So I'm committing more heavily to this fort. Why? Well, because I have most of my Lion Kings and Queens trapped in this fort, so I can't really afford to give it up. It's going to be taking out Storm Demons, Devils, Melkarts, multiple Melkarts, and a Queen of Thunder. I'm not sure that's possible, but we're going to try it. Research-wise, I will hit Alteration level 8 in 2 turns. It won't help me immediately. But going up, well, it will help me immediately, actually. When I hit Alteration level 8, I'll get Disintegrate, which is Soul Slay but for death. So, we'll see what we can do. And at level 9, of course, I'll get Army of Gold, Army of Lead. But I think I'll probably be dead by then, actually. Over here, my Boudas are sneaking away from here because I'm worried that my capital is about to come under attack. So I'm collapsing troops back towards Machakan itself. I've got to hold Machakan. Or at least I really, really want to hold Machakan, because Machakan is the only place my Lion Queens and Lion Kings can come from. And I'm not actually recruiting one right now, which is a bummer, but this turn is already run. I'm just running the... I'm recruiting another Hyena Clan Witch Doctor because he can Skella Spam right out of the box, and that is kind of what I need right now. I'm also saving up Death Gems in an effort, probably a futile effort, to steal Well of Misery still. If we look at my gem income... It's still not bad, actually. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 3, 66, 69, over 70 gems per turn. Now, obviously, it has plunged from what it used to be. It's dropped by almost half. But I'm still getting enough gems per turn that, assuming I can get Funny Guy unmuted in a couple of turns here, I will be able to... I will be able to at least try to recast Well of Misery. And get that death gem income. And that would be nice. Unrealistic, but nice. So we'll see how that works out for me. You can see Baratos has already taken like a third of my land down here. Has taken significant chunks of my land up north. As has, well, Baratos here again took this site. And Hinnom has me under siege here. Commanded by a Sea King, so a water summon. It's a big army. I'm just sneaking Shaboni away. He's not even going to try to fight here. We're collapsing back. We're going to try to hold at Urfel, Fairy Forest, and Machakan. We may also try to hold at Flory. I mean, I've got a lot of guys over here. I don't want to give up these recruitment sites because I'm recruiting Astral Mages from them. So... I want to try to hold at Karnag, Mictlan, and Tifalia as well. I'm hampered by the fact that my forts are not very good. This is only a city palisades in Mictlan? Oh no. Oh no. I don't have the money to upgrade it either. Oh well. Okay, fine. I'll burn that bridge when I come to it. I'll get that settled. This is also only a city palisades, so really this is the only really tough fort I have down here, but having 3 forts and a whole bunch of Astral Mages means I can pin people down assaulting the fort, and then hit them with the big communion. And that will help. It won't solve the issue, but it'll help. So, we will see what turn 63 brings. Hopefully, Funny Guy will be able to get himself up to snuff. And if he can do that, then a lot of magic starts to open up for me. So, I'll see you in turn 63. Alright, turn 63. More chaos, more death, more disappointment. Down here, I've got 60 units besieging this fort, mainly Storm Demons, Devils, and Melkarts with a Queen of Thunder. Losing this army will not be a huge blow to Baratos, assuming I manage to kill this army. But it will be a blow, and I would prefer to hurt Baratos as much as possible. So, I'm trying to set up to do that. I have Ruax here, the King of Elemental Fire. And so, with him, I'm going to cast Flaming Arrows, which will make all of my archers shoot Storm Demons better. and then he's just going to spam Living Fire. I'm putting him up front, and I've given him Copper Plate, which makes him shock resistance 25, so he's not going to be hurt by the lightning. He's also fire resistant 36, he has a fire shield, he has a huge heat aura, he has firepower. He's very, very solid. If I had the time and energy, I would give him more gear if I had more gear to give him. But for right now, the Copper Plate will do. I may also give him like a Ring of Warning and some bodyguards or something. I don't know. Let's assign him a couple of bodyguards. Can we assign Scorpion Beasts as bodyguards? Can we put them on Guard Commander? No. Damn. Let's assign him 2 Shades. They're better than nothing as bodyguards. Like, take these Shades away from Aharon. He can't lead undead. For crying out loud. Alright, let's assign him, like, these normal guys on Guard Commander. Just normal guys that are going to be immediately set on fire by his enormous heat aura. That's a dumb idea. Oh my goodness. Who can he have? Claymen would also be set on fire. They would regenerate at least, so would ogres. He needs fire resistant, but you know what? Whatever. He's going to be fine. He doesn't even need bodyguards. He's probably the toughest person anywhere near here. So, he's going to cast Flaming Arrows and spam Fire Elementals. All of my Boudas are going to spam Skeletons to provide for more lightning absorbing power. And we're just going to hope that's enough. I do have quite a large army here. Sorry, I was moving my mic around if you heard that. And it might work. It might work out. Who knows? I mean, really, who can tell these things? I'm going to spitefully attack a couple of these provinces with these, like, random troops I just kind of have sitting around. They're not really doing anything. And there's nothing really for them to do. I have no money. My treasury is at 0, and my income is only very slightly above my upkeep. This is what happens when you start to lose a Dominions game in the late game really badly. Your income plummets as provinces are taken, but your upkeep does not because you still have tons and tons of mages. So, they can't, you know, do things. I'm just going to defend my forts and research with these guys. That's all I'm going to do right now. If I wanted to be really super try-hard about it, I could try pushing out. But the fact of the matter is, I can't even really recruit mages at the moment. So, yeah, it's going to be a problem. I'm kind of just waiting to die. There's not much more than I can accomplish. My gem income continues to plummet. I'm down below 10 on almost everything at this point. I do still have death gems to an extent, but it looks like I'm probably not going to manage to cast Well of Misery. Which is a shame, but what can you do? I've given all of my remaining fire gems to Ruax to support his fire elemental spam. Over here, most of my commanders have been assassinated, either by actual assassins or by Mind Hunt. So that's great. I love it. And we're just gonna kind of keep on keeping on. I'm pulling forces back here to try and defend my capital. All these guys can actually just hide for now. I don't want him to know that I have a bunch of Boudas here. You can research, though. Do I have any research items I can give you? Nah. Okay. Never mind. Funny Guy is holding a Bloodthorn, which is a blood booster, but he's still only blood 1. I think he needs 1 more level. So I need to empower him 1 more time or something. Empowering him in blood will cost 30 blood slaves, which I don't have at the moment. He's going to manifest vitriol. His blood hunt here failed because of the high unrest. Katibu up here should succeed and bring in some blood slaves, but it's not going to be 30 of them. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can do. That'll be it for this turn. I know these turns have been very, very short, and that's just because, you know, there's not a whole lot that I could do at this point. The only bit of scripting I've really done is this battle, and even there I can't do very complicated scripting because I don't have any gems. So, yeah. Actually, there is something that I can do. There's something that I can do. Mandara. Because I believe, yes, I have Petrify researched. Excellent. So if I can get up to Earth 5, any Earth 5 Bouda can cast Petrify. So don't temper flesh, summon earth power, and spam petrify, please. It costs 40 fatigue. Yeah, just spam petrify. What's the range on it again? 30, and it's precision 100. So as long as he picks the right targets, he will lock them down. So let's move him up there. And I will need to give him copper plate as well to stop him from being stopped by people throwing lightning bolts. Who else could potentially get there? Abu could potentially get there. If I have a pair of earth boots sitting around somewhere I can give him. Do any of you have earth boots? Pandu already has earth boots. Mugo, you have earth boots. Sorry, your earth boots are your earth boots are needed for the cause. Abu also needs shock resistance of some kind. Elemental armor will help. Do I have another copper plate on somebody? Could have sworn I had more than 2 copper plates. Copper plate? Copper plate? Anybody? Anybody copper plate? Anybody copper plate? Copper plate? Anybody? No? Okay. Rainbow armor gives reinvigoration and magic resistance. That's a really good one for spellcasters. But it won't save you from being lightning bolted, which is the quality that I need. So Abu, you're going to wear an elemental armor, which will actually give you a lot more encumbrance, sadly. But can't really be helped at the moment. So Abu, we are going to find my petrify script. There it is. And Abu is going to get that script as well. So he'll be up here. And Pandu will be up here. And Ruax will be right here. These guys are going to charge through the gate as soon as they storm, which should buy Ruax some time. And then the 2 petrifiers will go to work. These guys are in the back in case they try to fly into my back lines. My mages are kind of lined up here doing their thing. Got these guys in the back as well. Got scouts and this Bushiri. Bushiri joined the Skelespammer ranks. And we will see it do not cast Iron Skin. I thought I told you all to be casting Temper Flesh instead. It won't help you against lightning, but if the Melkarts charge into melee, it'll help. So, there's that. Hopefully, if everything goes exactly as I plan, which I won't, what'll happen is the Petrify guys will, starting round 2, petrify 2 of the Melkarts / Queen of Thunder per round. Ideally, they'll fail their magic resistance checks and just die. But I would be okay if they succeeded and were paralyzed, because while they're paralyzed, they can't be fighting me. That will hopefully give my legions of flaming arrow pygmies time to destroy some of the storm demons, since they are ethereal, but the fire damage will hit them anyway, and they don't have any protection. So a couple hits from flaming arrows will kill storm demons. If we can wipe out enough of the storm demons, at that point he starts to rout from HP losses, unless the Melkarts keep him on the field. I'm summoning really quite a few skeletons. I mean, I've got... That's a death 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 death 2s. I'm sorry, not 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 death 2s. And a death 3, all spamming skeletons. So that's a reasonable number of skeletons, as well as all the fire elementals Ruax is going to summon. And since he's fire 7, he's going, once he buffs, he's going to summon a lot of fire elementals. So it might work. It's potentially possible. Odds are low. But at the very least, I think I'll take somebody down with me. And that is, to be frank, about all I can hope for. Yeah, everybody research right now. There's no reason not to. Might as well get 1 turn of research out of you. And then I'll be at Alteration level 8, and then I think we'll probably also have to defend Machakan pretty soon. This fort is also under siege. This fort I have no hope of holding whatsoever. I have 50 pygmies and some skeletons. I do have Ilvik, so I can't be mind hunted safely, which is nice. But beyond that, don't have much. I don't think I can disband my own guys. I could start pillaging my own provinces for cash. I'm actually seriously considering that right at the moment, just because I need money in order to do anything. But it's not really going to help. I would like it if Shahidi was patrolling to bring down unrest to let me blood hunt here, but I'm afraid that this army is going to move on to my capital. Especially because my Boudas are all hiding. Well, I'll tell you what. Devils and Beretian heavy spearmen. What I need is... I need these guys forging more copper plates. Copper plate only costs 5 air gems, so yeah, we're going to alchemize real quick. We're going to alchemize earth gems and water gems and nature gems, and then we're going to turn them all into air gems. And we're going to forge copper plates, because copper plate is necessary for my Boudas to be useful on the field at this point. Funny Guy is shock resistant 5, which will help, but even that is definitely not enough. He's got the Shade Mail Halberdian on because he's stealthy. But to be honest, this is my Waterloo here. He's not going to be running away from this. So we're going to put the elemental armor on him to make him shock resistant 15, which will protect him from lightning bolts. We'll get copper plate. Actually, we'll probably give the elemental armor to somebody else. Well, I'll give him the elemental armor because the fatigue doesn't affect him, because he has encumbrance 0 and fatigue 0. So it doesn't hurt him nearly so much. We'll put copper plates on our high death, because I have a couple of death 4 guys. I have 3 death 4 Boudas in here. So it'll be a lot of skeletons. Just unreasonable quantities of skeletons coming out when he invades Machakan. My skeletons will blot out the sun. And then my other issue is, do I try for Well of Misery or do I forge Skull Staffs? I think I forge Skull Staffs at this point. They'll help by reducing fatigue. Boy, I don't know. I don't know if Skull Staffs are really going to make a difference at this stage, is my problem. If I could forge a Skull Face to let me boost somebody up to Death 5, that would be a different story, but I can't do that without Funny Guy getting his death back. So, we will see what develops. 53 plus 9, my total gem income is gross. I've already pooled all my gems pretty much, I think. I'll have 10 Blood Slaves plus whatever he hunts up next turn. Not going to be enough. And we'll, yeah. I don't want to give up on Well of Misery, but the fact of the matter is... it costs 80 gems. King of Banefires only costs 50, so I might be able to summon the King of Banefires. 3 death, 4 fire. 3 death, 4 fire. So if I have a 2 fire random, and I give him a Skull of Fire and a Flame Helmet. One second. Let me see if this will work. I hadn't considered this. Skull of Fire. Flame Helmet. Now he needs a Skull Staff. Yeah, I could summon the King of Banefires right now. Do I have any fire random Boudas that aren't about to be murdered, is my question. And the answer would seem to be not at the moment. Yes, I do. I have Kwanzaa. I could summon the King of Banefires here in Urfel. Would that help me? It would probably help me from having him, more than having him down here, because down here he can't be scripted when they attack. So, okay. Just take all those away. Give them to, not Otto, Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa cast... yeah, cast King of Banefires. So I am getting some big beefy summons out. They're not the real high tier big beefy summons, but... I mean, having a powerful Death Fire Wizard can't hurt me. It can only help. He's more powerful than Boudas, so... why not? Might as well try it. There is no... There's no downside here. You are actually going to patrol to keep the unrest down somewhat. And Talor, Talor will also patrol. This flying army, I suppose, might hit me, but I doubt it, and it wouldn't... I don't know. It's worth trying. But, while patrolling, please leave the Staff of Elemental Mastery behind. Because I don't want that lost. Okay, so we're summoning the King of Elemental Banefires. We're preparing for defense down here with Ruax, the King of Magma, who also has 1 Earth, which doesn't really help him all that much, to be fully honest. Over here, we're pretty much just researching. I mean, all these guys are sort of in a holding pattern, which is too bad. They can't get over here in time to help anyway, and I don't want to move them out into the open because they will be murdered if I do. Staying in their forts is the only thing that's saving them on the modern battlefields where strike groups of flying storm demons and Melkarts might drop on anybody's head at any time. So, yeah, that's the situation, and that's the way it was. And I will see you in turn 64. Alright, it is once more into the breach, turn 65, and it is just a relentless parade of bad news. I did summon the King of Banefires, Anthrax, which is nice. Lost a commander there. Lost a Horse Tribe Chief there. Lost a Spider Clan Witch Doctor there. And that was in Fairy Forest. Battle in Trackless Woods, lost the province. All of these, I lost the province, I believe. I don't think I managed to hold on to any of them. Yeah, nope, I lost the province in all of them. We took control of Muspel, which is nice. There was a battle in Fairy Forest where this army of Hinnom moved in and beat up my province defense. They didn't particularly lose much. They are summoning a lot of Long Dead, clearly, including Long Dead Rephites. So those are probably from Mound Fiends. And you can see the Long Dead Rephites are Hinnom and Ashdod's special undead. A lot of nations have special national undead, so they get regular old Long Dead that are just, you know, troops. And then they also get these guys, and Long Dead Rephites are big. They have more hit points than normal. This one has a limp, and it's clearly been in battle because his hit points are low. It should be 20. They also have decent protection and defense skill, and a very hard-hitting attack, of course, because they are giants. The downside to Long Dead Rephites is some of them are these guys who are good, have armor and shields and all that. And then some of them are this guy, who has 0 protection and is a big target and will die instantly on contact. But this army is very large. He has a whole bunch of... He clearly summoned he summoned a Troll King, a Sea King rather, and gave him a water bracelet to make him water 4. And he's probably has him spamming water elementals, I would imagine. He's throwing Stellar Cascades on my province defense. Doesn't look like he's spending gems, which is unfortunate. Yeah, he's just casting non-gem spells. That's fine, though. Well, it's not fine. I'm getting my ass kicked, but... over here, I lost the battle for the fortress, despite having the King of Magma. I had him scripted to cast Living Fires, I could have sworn. And instead... Well, you'll see here. So we get the lightning coming in, all of that. We get flaming arrows up, which helps a little bit. But Ruax, instead of doing anything useful, Ruax... Oh, well, he does cast Living Fires once, I guess. Now, I did manage to... One thing happened here. I did manage to petrify Bitru the Melkart, who also has some afflictions. But after petrifying him, Aharon the Werehyena was knocked out, and even when he came to, and Abu was also knocked out, he passed his magic resistance check, which is not surprising when you have MR18, and so he was merely frozen in place for a while instead of actually killed. And then nothing managed to actually kill him. So he just kind of stood there until he stopped being stunned and attacked me again. We did manage to decay Flauros the Melkart, but once again, Melkarts live for a long time. Actually, let me see if he aged, how much he aged during the battle. He's up to 710. Hasn't taken any damage. But if he passes over 726, he might start taking afflictions. I don't think it's gonna get to that point, though. He's 684, 715, yeah. He's not going to, we're not going to make it. 725, so he's 1 year before his max age. Close, but no cigar. So, yeah, I lost that big time. The Were-Hyenas got a whole bunch of kills, but mainly it was on summons. I killed 25 of his Storm Demons, which is good. Each of those guys cost him quite a bit to summon, but removing 150 or so Blood Slaves worth of troops does not counteract losing 350 troops, including 7 of my Big Mages, 6 of my Boudas, and the King of Magma. I'm sorry, 8 of my Boudas and the King of Magma. It just doesn't add up. Fairy Forest has been breached, and all the commanders have been killed. Literally all of them, by assassinations. So, all that's left is a random pile of chaff with no commanders, which will run as soon as he breaks in. At this point, I don't really have any moves to make. All these guys are just holding in place to try and defend these forts as long as possible. These guys are holding up. Kwanzaa should be... I've got Anthrax, but I don't really have anything to give him at the moment, so we're just in a holding pattern waiting to die, sadly. Funny Guy should be blood hunting in an effort to achieve something there. Katibu is blood hunting in an effort to achieve something there. All I want is to get Funny Guy healed up before I'm forced to flee. You two should both patrol, and all of you are researching, and that's about all I can do. So I know it kind of seems like I've sort of given up here, and that's because I have. Amiri is going to run. Try to get back to the capital. I'm collapsing all of my Boudas and such on the capital in an effort to hold. You can change shape, and can you fly to the capital? You're both moving instead of sneaking, which I need you not to do. I need you to sneak. You've got to be very, very sneaky. Kima Meta, yeah, map move 20 flying versus map move 22, so they'll try to get over to the capital as well. And we're just waiting to die. So that's the turn. Sorry, it's depressing, but this is the end game for me for sure. And we'll kind of see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see if I manage. I'm gonna pull off an epic last stand here, and we'll see how much damage I can do. So take care.